doing the first ever online everyman sports show. This is Jim Storts. This is a Hail Mary. How's everybody doing? Usually this would be a Saturday night thing, but we had some issues this week. I had to move it up a little earlier. This is a Thursday night thing. What I'm going to do tonight is just bring you a little bit of what's going on in sports, just so you can talk tomorrow at the water cooler about it. And you're not going to get a bunch of stats here. You're not going to get a bunch of odds and who I think is going to win what. I don't care, but I'm going to let you guys know what's going on so no one makes fun of you anymore. So, just to start the show off, we're going to get started today. A little bit of baseball news. Hall of Fame catcher Gary Carter died today. I'm not a Mets fan. I never would have known it if it hadn't been in the news. But for everybody out there who is, New York fans, he was the '86 World Series. He played for the Mets, Montreal, San Francisco, and the Dodgers. He was the first Expo to be inducted into Cooperstown wearing the Expos hat. Just a little bit of information there. Sorry to hear about it, Gary. If you were here, I'd tell you I'm sorry. I'll say sorry to the family. My prayers go out to you and all you guys that were big fans of his. Sorry as well. Everybody's going crazy over this Jeremy Lin guy. I'm telling you, it's ridiculous out there. But the best story I have yet heard is fans set up a sign, had a picture of Jeremy Lin's face above a fortune cookie. Now, everybody who knows who Jeremy Lin is knows that he is an Asian person. He's, I'm not going to say a great basketball player. He's a good basketball player, though. And the guy was just doing it, as his way of saying that he hopes the Knicks have good fortune. Well, welcome to America, ladies and gentlemen. You can't say stuff like that and pictures like that because you will get sued. Because someone's going to get mad at you and they're not going to like it. They're going to say, oh, that offended me. And once they've been offended, you've got a lawsuit, ladies and gentlemen. So, for the man who came up with the sign, hey, I think it was an amazing sign. Jeremy Lin is a good player. He's really bringing the Knicks back to life. And I hope it works out great for him. But hey, got to draw a line someplace on what's offensive. If it's really that offensive to you, get thicker skin. The offensiveness goes away. So, how this show is going to end up working, I'm not going to talk to you about every sport that's out there because, to tell you the truth, I really don't care about a lot of them that are out there. But I am going to talk about stuff that I have seen in the news and that I think you might find relevant. Such as, I'm going to stay with the NBA here for a little bit. My man, Allen Iverson, 36-year-old basketball player. The guy's played 14 years now, 24,000 points. More than 24,000 points in his 14-year career. Sixth highest in average scores, averaging 26.7 points a game. Even if you hate basketball, ladies and gentlemen, you have to respect numbers like that. Allen Iverson is definitely one of the best that have came along in my lifetime. The reasons he's been in the news, though, aren't always so good. He is a great basketball player. Don't get me wrong. I'm not taking anything away from AI. But been a lot of police involvement where that man is concerned at it. It's usually not really that pretty. It usually gets kind of ugly where AI is involved at. And so, he's kind of got that whole bad boy thing going for him now. No one wants to touch him, and now is when the man needs to be touched. He just had his bank accounts frozen by a judge now. Not just, anybody. A judge for an $860,000 jewelry bill. Not taxes, not gangster stuff, a jewelry bill. He doesn't have the money to pay it. You know why? Because he squandered away over $154 million. Think about that a second. $154 million. That's not a little bit of money, ladies and gentlemen. Not even remotely, unless you're Donald Trump and he's like, whatever. But $154 million. Now, a lot of people in this economy understand, hey, a lot of people lost a lot of money here. Stock market crash, bad investments, so on and so forth. This has nothing to do with that. It was for his posse. Don't get me wrong. Always take care of the people that helped you get where you are. Rule number one in this business. But don't do it to the tune of $154 million, ladies and gentlemen. That's just wrong. I'm thinking one other person. When I hear this story, I think of one other person, MC Hammer. Same thing happened to the man. Great career, awesome singer, lost it all because he had to spend it on his boys instead of taking care of his wife. But that's not the best part of this story. The best part of the story is the sixth highest scorer in NBA history. The best part of this story being not the money being squandered, not the fact that this man's broke after being one of the best basketball players ever born. This man is so desperate to get back into the NBA now. Not only has he gone as far as saying, hey, I'll play for a D-League team. D-League, for all you guys that aren't NBA fans, means it's a minor league, basically, for basketball. But not only is he willing to play there, he's also willing to play Caribbean basketball or South American or even Puerto Rican ball. This man is just desperate to get back into the game. And why? Because he needs the cash. Little lesson here, don't spend all your money on your boys. You can buy them a car, that's cool. Make sure you got yourself covered first, though, or you're going to be the next person looking to work at McDonald's just so you can get back to being on top again. More NBA news. LeBron James. Personally, I was a huge LeBron fan. He came from Cleveland. I'm a huge Cleveland fan. I grew up in Ohio, so Cleveland was my team. The Cavs were always awesome. LeBron James was amazing with us. Had 7 seasons with us from 2006 to 2010. Led us to back-to-back championship runs. Never quite made it, but he was one of the reasons we were always there. Made a lot of enemies in Cleveland when he decided to leave when it hit free agency because they didn't want to give him more money. Of course, same reason everybody else leaves. Really, really big. That was a really big deal, especially Cleveland fans. Dan Gilbert, GM of Cleveland Cavaliers, put out a really strongly worded letter on what he thought of the whole situation. Wasn't straight out cussing the guy out, but he did it as good as you could without going that far. I mean, he made comments, you simply don't deserve this kind of cowardly betrayal. You have given so much and deserve so much more. And this is what he's saying to the fans. They did not deserve this cowardly betrayal. That's kind of rough, The line I love the best. Some people think they should go to heaven without having to die for it first. That was one of the best lines out of there. Now, I don't know about you fellow Cleveland fans. I say F the son of a bitch. Never should have left us in the first place. Hasn't done all that great at Miami since he's been there. Whatever. Personal opinions. You don't have to listen to me and just say, hey, his opinion's that, so that. No, you got to have your own personal opinions on it. My whole deal is, the man's first off signed for at least 2 years with Miami. He's got 2-year extension possible for that contract. And he's talking about going back to Cleveland. So the earliest we're talking, he has 4 years that he's going back to Cleveland. He was quoted as saying, I think it would be great. It'd be fun to play in front of these fans, meaning Cleveland fans again. You can't predict the future. If I decide to come back, hopefully the fans will accept me. Stay where you're at, LeBron. Cleveland don't fucking want you. You can say all you want about how much you love playing for this town. You can say how much you love the fans of this town. We all remember what you did. You straight up stabbed us in the damn back, and we don't need it because there's 100 of you guys out there. We'll find the next one. We'll get the championship before you ever do. And as I was talking about to start this with Jeremy Lin, Linsanity. If you guys aren't on the bandwagon, hey, join the club. Neither am I. But hey, the kid is up and coming. Playing for the Knicks now. He's averaging about 12, 13 points a game. Nothing to sneeze at. That's not great numbers, but hey, Michael Jordan had to start somewhere. Everybody is really just jumping on this bandwagon, though. I mean, it's far. Dwight Gooden, ladies and gentlemen, played for the Mets, Yeah, remember that little team, the New York Mets, New York, the Yankees? Yeah, he was a pitcher for them, one of the best ever. Says he sets his schedule around a man jamming it. I don't know about all that, ladies and gentlemen, but hey, if you're a New York fan, Dwight says it must be good. Now, my question is, Carmelo and Lynn. Carmelo's coming back now, and arguably best player the Knicks have. Little bit of a hothead, little bit of a showboat, though. How's that going to work out? Are him and Lynn going to be able to work this out? I would place Lynn maybe about third best on that team. If him and Carmelo can work this out, though, they got gold in the future, ladies and gentlemen. You can count that here. That's about the best you're going to get when it comes to odds for me. I really think those two hook up. They make a go at it, though. They're going all the way. Now, enough of this NBA stuff, because I'm not really that much of an NBA fan, but that's the news, and that's what you guys are going to talk about, so that's what I'm giving to you. Big event news going on, though, next Saturday, ladies and gentlemen. That's right. All you people out there that like good lift are going to love it. Daytona 500 next Saturday. Am I allowed to say any station names? That's right. Daytona next week on Fox. You've got a bunch of stuff coming up for this. Now, some of you might be casual NASCAR fans. Some of you might be hardcore NASCAR fans. And all you hardcore folks, you know who I'm talking about. But anyway, NASCAR, like it or not, is here to stay. It's become one of the biggest sports here in America. I myself love it. I'm not a huge fan of it. I won't live and die bleed NASCAR, but I do enjoy my NASCAR. So you're going to get a little NASCAR news. So, for all you guys that really want the schedule, February 18th, the Bud Shootout is on Fox. February 23rd, you got your Gatorade duels. That's right. The 1 and 2 is going to be at 2 o'clock and 4 o'clock on Speed TV. And then the 26th, the 500 first race of the season. Go Dale Jr. You know, everybody doesn't like him. He's my guy. I liked him ever since his father's passed away. I think this is going to be a season. I think he's finally going to get hooked up. I hope. Because I don't know what else you can do with Dale Jr. First off, it was a horrible break with his father dying at Daytona. But you know what? His father died doing what he loved doing. He loved racing that car. Long live, rest in peace, Dale Sr. We love you, man. Dale Jr., get your head out of your ass. Don't be afraid to go fast. You need to watch Talladega Nights. That's gotta get your, ride with the pants. You gotta get your speed back. Don't be afraid of that car, man. You got great teammates with you. Great team that you're on. Great car setup. You can do it, man. Dale Jr. all the way. NASCAR championship. But in other news, a lot of drivers change their cars around this year. A lot of people are kind of upset 'cause not only are they changing car numbers around, they're changing teams around. You guys have people leaving some really big name teams to go to little teams. But, just for example, you got Kurt Busch. 6 seasons with Penske. And Penske is a great team and has done great things for Kurt Busch. The guys always run great races. But he is no longer with 22 Penske. He is now with Phoenix Racing. He'll be driving car 51. AJ Allmendinger is leaving Richard Petty Racing. He is now going to be driving the number 22 car. So, who's going to be driving 43 for Richard Petty? Well, glad you asked me. Eric Almirola is going to now be driving that car. Casey Kane has moved since they don't have the Red Bull team anymore. He's going from car 4 to car 5, but he's staying with the same team. So no big change there with Casey. Mark Martin. This guy is supposed to retire now, like, I don't know, 23 years in a row or something like that. The guy's always, I'm going to retire after this year. I'm just running a limited schedule, I like to think Kmart, KFC, Tuck Fried Chicken, the guy's always retiring, but not this year. Michael Waltrip Racing, he is going to be driving car 55. His teammate Clint Boyer is going to be driving car 15 as well for Waltrip Racing. Now, kind of a little split thing here. David Rudiman is going to be driving the number 10 for Tommy Baldwin Racing this year. But, along with that, Danica Patrick's going to be running her first series in the big leagues this year, ladies and gentlemen. She is going to actually be driving 10 races this year while David drives the other 26. But she, my friends, is going to be the one driving in Daytona. Danica, if you remember, made a name for herself in IndyCar and open wheel racing. And, of course, GoDaddy.com commercials. But the woman is an amazing racer. Not only is she super hot, she is super fast. Looking for big things out of you, Danica. She will not be racing the full season this year, but starting next year, 2013, she will be racing the full year with Stewart House Racing. And for the last of the driver changes, David Reagan is now driving the number 34 for Front Row Motorsports. So, Daytona's coming up. We got shootouts coming up. Now, you know, shootouts and the Gatorades, those are your hardcore fans there. They're the ones watching that. Because all that is really a weird way of setting the race up on who's going to start where. Not a big fan of the whole point system. And hey, your driver was in top 35 points, you're guaranteed a spot. Never been a big fan of that. You want to race the race, win the fucking race. You want to race that race, earn your way into it. Go out there, qualify, hit these races, get up there. Unfortunately, I don't run NASCAR. I do this show, the Hailmary. But yes, so all you NASCAR fans, remember, go to third left coming up next Saturday. No, it's not football season, and I know everybody's sick of hearing football, but hey, I'm a football kind of guy, and kind of some really typical things, I guess you could say, kind of going on with the NFL right now. The biggest story being Randy Moss. Now, Randy Moss has decided he doesn't want to retire. After he says, I quit, he's now decided, I don't want to quit. Well, Randy, quit. Nobody, dude, your own team said, fuck you, man, we don't want you back. Your own team. And you know why they said that? The greatest part is, too much quit. The boy has too much quit. That's not a good thing to have fixed to you when you're a football player. When you are a big-time wide receiver, you don't want your coach saying, well, the boy is good, but he just has a little too much quit in him. And those are the words I have heard over and over and over from every sports outlet there is out there, ladies and gentlemen. Everybody has said that about Randy. It really kind of sucks. He's a great wide receiver. Once again, people make a bad name for yourself, you're done. I mean, look at an example. Here, I'll give you an example. T.O. and Randy Moss. Both great receivers. Real similar. I mean, T.O.'s a little bit older, 38 to 35. His receptions, T.O.'s got 1,078 receptions. Randy's got 954. Yardage, you're talking almost 16,000 reception yards for T.O. You're talking just under 15 for Randy Moss. Both of them with 153 touchdowns. Those are Hall of Fame numbers, ladies and gentlemen. Those are great numbers, great stats. Any wide receiver would be happy to have stats like that. But they make too much noise. T.O. just being T.O. It's the reason the Eagles got rid of him. Best thing the Eagles done in a long time, by the way. Even though I don't like the Eagles, it's the best thing you guys did was rid of T.O.
Okay.
Now on to the NFL. I know the seasons are over. I know the Super Bowl's over. I know all the crying's been done. Everybody deserved a pat on the back, got it. But hey, there's still stories out there going on daily. And I'm a football guy, so I'm going to be giving you guys those stories. My man, Randy Moss, needs to learn a lesson. When you come out and you say you quit, you quit. You don't come back and say, oh, wait. You know what? Maybe I don't want to quit. But that's exactly what he has done. And it's to the point, ladies and gentlemen, his own team does not even want him back. His coach said he has too much quit in him. His teammates say, too much quit. All the coordinators, too much quit. Not a good thing to have attached to your name, Randy. Just quit. Take the advice. You may have to find a real job. You may have to do some other things. But hey, you're not going to make it in the football league. Nobody wants you in the football league. They're all like, you're bad property now. And it happens. Told you guys time and time again with the misbehaving, with being a bad boy. Look at T.O. T.O., another great receiver. Couldn't keep his mouth shut. Just couldn't do it. Just a little comparison for you between T.O. and Randy Moss. And the reason I make this comparison, they're really similar in their shenanigans, I guess you would say. It's the stuff that people don't like. It's things that teams don't like, and they're going to stay away from it. Don't matter your numbers, and I mean, they've got great numbers, ladies and gentlemen. You're talking T.O. with just shy of 1,100 catches, Randy with just shy of 1,000, 16,000 yards to 15,000 yards. Both of them with 153 catches. Great numbers. Great numbers. But it's a stigma attached to you guys. They're never going to take you back. And the reason they're not going to take you back is because you cause trouble. You can't do that. You cannot be professional in the NFL anymore and be that troublemaker anymore. Teams don't want it. You're not going to make it. Sorry, Randy. Sorry, T.O. You guys were the greats. You guys could have made it all the way, been in that Hall of Fame, but you just kind of had to blow it with your axe. Now, on to the heartbreak of the season. My Pittsburgh Steelers. Going to try every week to hit up another team. Figured this week I'm going to start out with the Steelers. Had a great year. I mean, 12-4 for the season. That is a great season. You guys did great. I'll give you your losses to Baltimore. Baltimore's a good team. Do I like Baltimore? No. I think the quarterback has a name that sounds like a porn star with Joe Flacco. I don't like them, but they are a very good team. You deserve those losses. But you lost to Houston and San Francisco. Come on, guys. The two teams that are historically the worst teams, you guys lost to. I almost have to cry. But I'm not. Because you guys are the Steelers, you will come back. You will do it. But I'm not sure how we're going to do this. First off, Hines Ward. Now, NFL.com put out a statement saying that he was done with the Steelers. But you can't necessarily go on what you hear on NFL.com because the GM, Kevin Colbert, if you remember the Colbert Nation, it said Monday no decision's been made. That's why you can't necessarily go off NFL. I would love to see Hines Ward back. We need Hines Ward back. The guy's one, a great wide receiver. Two, he's a great team leader. And three, no one has a smile like his. That man could take a hit from somebody 20 times his size and still be smiling afterwards. That's what he's known for. That's what our team's known for. We need you, Hines. Now he's come out and said that he is willing to take the minimum contractual value for his contract. They have a lot of problems right now with their salary cap. He has come out and said he will work with them. He will take the minimum amount of money they have to give him so they're going to need the cap. But I think that's what's going to save him. He wasn't willing to do that at first, but now he is. Hines, I hope you're back. Big problem this year, though, is going to be our running game. I mean, Rashard Mendenhall, don't look at him all for 2012. I think he's out the whole season. I've had a torn ACL. Those aren't easy to recover from. I don't see him coming back, and that's really going to hurt us. Steelers is a running team. We are known for running that ball straight down your throat. Don't see it happening. Our backup running backs, I remember the first thing that I looked when I saw that list was, who the hell are these guys? Steelers. I love you guys. Big Ben, stay out of trouble. You always get in trouble in the offseason. Stay out of trouble. Hopefully we can work this thing out. And ladies and gentlemen, as far as major news stories go, that's pretty much it. But do have a little something for your funny bone. Give me a little segment I try to do at the end of each show. There are so many sports out there that no one has ever in their lives heard of. I'm going to be the person to tell you a little bit about some of these sports. So for your funny bone, coming out at number 1, and this is over in Oxfordshire, England. They have the Brompton Bike Competition. Now, for all you all who don't know what a Brompton bike is, you know, you see in some movies those little fold-up bikes that people carry with them, with the little itty-bitty wheels. They fold them up, put them in their backpack, they can take them back out and ride them. Well, they actually have a bike race of these little-ass bikes. And the coolest thing about it is you can't go out there like Lance Armstrong gear, you know, the little biker shorts, everything. No. Jackets and ties are required for this race. So if you're into those little fold-up bikes, ladies and gentlemen, Oxfordshire, England, it's a place for you. Number 2, coming also out of England. This is from Gloucestershire, England. It's called cheese rolling. Now, it's a pretty easy sport. You up to the top of the hill, they roll a wheel of cheese down that hill. You're going to catch it. Catch cheese, you win. Easy, right? Except your hill's about an angle like that. Cheeses are reaching 70 miles an hour top speed. And my guess is you go do this, the only thing you're going to be catching is the ambulance to the hospital as you stop rolling at the bottom of that damn hill. Number 3. Korfball. I don't understand it either, korfball. But yes, it is a Dutch version. I guess the best way you can say it is basketball and soccer combined. Couldn't find a lot of video or a lot of stuff on it, but the pictures I did see, it's exactly what it looked like. So evidently the Dutch have decided that it's not that hard kicking the ball into a net, so they give you this little round hoop that you have to kick it through now. But yes, so if you're ever in the mood to kick a soccer ball through a basketball hoop, go over there to the Netherlands. They'll hook you up with a little bit of that korfball. Number 4, ice boating. Now, ice boating goes back to the 19th century. 19th century, it was used as a way to transport goods across the Great Lakes during the winter months when they're frozen. For everybody who haven't been to the Great Lakes area in winter, it's cold. I mean, it's cold. You don't want to be out there. So they took this 19th century way of transporting goods and turned it into today's version of, I have a sailboat. I have way too much money, obviously. The lake's frozen. Whatever am I going to do? You put some skis on your boat and you're going to race it. That's what you're going to do. So for all you guys out there with sailboats, too much money, and don't know what to do when the water's frozen, head on up there to the Great Lakes and they'll show you with a little bit of that ice boat racing. Another racing for you, camel racing. I don't know if you've ever actually seen camel racing. Oh my God, it is funny as hell. Those camels do not run a straight line, ladies and gentlemen. It's not like turning it on and watching the horse races here in America. No, these camels are all over the place, and if nothing else, they spit if you make them mad. So it's just one more reason to be there, that crowd to watch. Maybe you'll be the one spit on. Who knows? This one may not sound all that funny or weird. Number 6 coming in at kickball. You know the game. You were a kid. You played just like you do baseball. The little red rubber ball. You roll it up. Kid kicks it. You go running. It's not just for kids anymore. Some people are taking this to a whole new level now. I didn't look that deep into it because Who would want to play professional kickball? But evidently there are professional leagues of adults out there doing this. Another thing of too much time on our hands, I don't know. But just so you know, yes, number 6 kickball, not just for the playground anymore. Got a couple more here left for you guys. This one, number 7 at chess boxing. Yes, you heard that correct. Chess boxing. 6-minute rounds. You have 4 minutes of playing chess and 2 minutes of boxing each other. Now, for all you all that have seen that great TV show, The Big Bang Theory, imagine those guys boxing. You've got this sport down. I can't imagine. I'm not being mean to anybody who plays chess, because there are some big people out there that play chess, and it could probably hurt me quite readily. But chess boxing, really? It's like beer pong for nerds. I mean, I'm sure we can find out something better, guys. Number 8. It's another one coming from y'all, for those Brits over there in England. Derbyshire, England. This started back in 1976. Toe wrestling. That's right, you heard it right, toe wrestling. For all you all that are a little squeamish around feet, you're going to want to stay away from this one, because literally what you do is you lock big toes and try to push the other person's foot down. And that is toe wrestling. Foot fetishists are going to love it. If you think feet are gross, you're not going to like it. There you go. Number 9, I don't understand how they made this into a sport, but it's listed on there. Fire jumping. Now this started out back in ancient Persia as a way of showing rebirth. From the videos I saw, all it's been turned into now is a way to say, hey, guess how drunk I am as I try to jump over this fire with my friend. I don't suggest anybody try it unless you're a fan of third-degree burns. Look kind of painful, not something I'm doing anytime soon. And number 10, the only reason I put this on the list is because I've seen a lot of painful injuries from this, and it's snowmobile racing. I don't know if you've ever been on a snowmobile or not, but they are heavy, heavy pieces of equipment. And these guys are flying on those things. Once again, it's one of those things, you got too much money, it's snowing outside, what are you going to do? People really get hurt bad doing this. I've seen people's flesh literally just ripped from their back by this. So hey, once again, you got that money, you want to do it, more power to you. That is my top 10 list. Ladies and gentlemen, all I can say is it's been an interesting week as far as sports is concerned. I am going to keep coming back to you here weekly, usually going to be on Saturdays, telling you what you're going to need to know to make it through the week. So when those big guys are always talking about their sports, you'll be able to join in on the conversation. I am Jim Storts. This has been Hail Mary.
And that's a wrap.